Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Trina Talks, and we are going to talk about some things today. Welcome back, guys. It has been really crazy for me lately. I was out of town and doing a lot of things with family, and just getting back in a few days ago. So I wanted to hop on and talk about all the stuff going on. I was actually in New York where all that stuff is going on, right? With the midterm election and Mamdani and Cuomo and all that stuff. So I wanted to wait until the actual election happened before I made this video, because I wanted to talk about all of the stuff and I wanted to see what the outcome was going to be. So anyway, we got so many things to chat about. We're going to get into it in just a moment. First thing I want to say is I'm praying for you guys all. I'm praying that you're just taking one day at a time. I'm praying that, whatever struggles and troubles you might be going through, that you're able to go one day at a time. There is a reason that you keep waking up every day. There must be. God keeps giving you breath in your lungs every day, right? To keep going. So I want you to really think about finding purpose in each day, that you wake up and you have breath in your body and air in your lungs and your muscles are moving and you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. Find purpose in each day and try not to let all the stuff get you down. I totally get it. I understand. Just think about that purpose and find purpose and move forward. All right. So with that being said, we're going to get into all the stuff. Today's discussion is going to be about the government shutdown and the midterm elections. So lots to talk about here, right? So we're 35 days into this ridiculous shutdown. That's what I'm calling it, because I am so sick and tired of listening to the Democrats and the Republicans every single day get on the TV and give us excuse after excuse. Blame each other. Oh, it's their fault. No, it's their fault. No, it's their fault. It's their fault. It's annoying. And I'm really, really tired of hearing about it. And I have a lot of thoughts about that. So let's talk about it. This government shutdown is really affecting so many people. I mean, we're talking about people that are being furloughed from their jobs. Not sure if there's people that are being fired. That is something I didn't actually check on. I know it was a lot of talk about that, possibly people being fired, and then I think there was a court that said Donald Trump couldn't fire people. So I'm not really sure if people were fired or not, but I know that they're being furloughed, which is like laid off. Maybe they'll get their job back when it opens back up. I'm certain that's probably what furlough means, but that's horrible enough, because you're going along and then now you don't have a job. So anyway, then you've got the other people that are coming to work every day, working and not getting a paycheck. So how does that work, right? And so you sometimes, if you don't really know what's really going on, you think, well, why would you do that? If I'm not going to get paid, I'm not going to go to work. But these people have pensions and they've signed on to these government jobs, and they kind of signed up for this. So if this happens, they've kind of already accepted that this could happen, and then you may have to work, and not be paid. So they've already signed on up for that. And so this is what, unfortunately, they have to do. I've heard about the military, they didn't get paid for a little while. And then thankfully, I heard that they got a paycheck. I don't know if it was one or if they've got several. I mean, it's only 35 days. I don't know how much they get paid. I think if they get paid once a month or whatever it is. But I did hear that they actually did get a pay. So thank God for that, right? The military needs to be well taken care of. Not that we all don't, but the military is very important, for the job that they do. And thank you for your service if there's anybody watching that has served in our military. Anyway, so the other topic is the food stamps, right? So this just came about a couple days or a week before the 1st of November, that people that get food stamps probably won't get them in November, right? So this topic has been absolutely viral. Everyone's talking about it. It is Some people are talking about it in a negative way. Some people are talking about it in a positive way. Bottom line, people are talking about it. And so we're going to talk about it too. So anyway, what I wanted to say about it is the topic being viral is very, it's a big deal because it's about food. Food is one of our basic necessities that every human being needs. So you need oxygen to breathe. You need water, right? Because our body is made up of lots of water. You need water and you need food. We're not really hunters and gatherers anymore, right? So we go to the grocery store, we buy food, and it costs money. And today it costs lots of money. So it's pretty sad that people that are getting food stamps may not receive, even if it's 1 month. That's 1 month of a heck of a struggle. And if you have children, I don't even want to think about the struggle that you're going to have to go through to get food on the table for that 1 month. And we don't even know if it's going to be a month. It could be longer than that. But anyway, I want you guys to imagine something with me, right? So let's imagine that you're working your job. You got a job with the government, right? And you think, man, I've got a great job. Like, I've got a great career. I'm not really worried about putting food on the table. I'm not worried about paying my bills. I got a pretty decent bank account, some savings in there, right? I own my home. I have a great car. You know, if you own your own home, I'm just saying, if you've got that kind of a job, you've got some pretty good job security is what I would assume. I think that's what I would think if I had a government job. And so you're just going along and you're doing a great job and you're doing your thing. Then all of a sudden one day, poof, now you're furloughed from your job. And you're not going to get any more paychecks. And you have to figure out what in the heck that looks like, what you're going to do, how you're going to continue managing your life with no money indefinitely, right? Not cool. So then let's imagine that we are like a working class person, right? We're just going along. We're working our job, whatever job it is. Just think of like the person that works at Home Depot, right? They're going to work every day. They're making their paycheck, whatever it might be. And they are making money, right? But not quite enough to take care of their family, right? So maybe they might need food stamps to supplement what they're making on their job. Could be that situation. Or maybe you're a single mother and you are not working, but you have, children and you're staying at home and you're taking care of your kids for whatever reason, you're not working. What I'm trying to say is that you're relying on food stamps as well to take care of your family. And in both of those situations, one day, boom, no more food stamps. There's no lead up to this. There's no warning. There's no nothing. You're just not going to get it. And we don't know when you're going to get it again. Horrifying. If you're the person that's working at Home Depot, you're like, okay, so what am I not paying to put food on the table? And then what are the ramifications of not paying that? So I just want to bring these things out. I just want to highlight these things because the common denominator in all three of these situations is our government. Our government is responsible for this happening to all three of these situations for these people. It's the federal government. It's their fault. They're doing it. So I want to talk about why. Why might they be doing this to us? During my research for this video, I found out some things. Let's talk about the Food Stamp Act first. So the Food Stamp Act was originated in 1964. There was an earlier program for the food stamps in 1939, and it went through to 1943. This was during the Great Depression. So this is what they did, during that time. There was serious food insecurity during that time, among other things. And so they had this food stamp program. But think about it, from 1939, and this is 2025, like that's a very long time. that they even have put here about the food insecurity that's been going on in this country and how the federal government has been trying to supplement that, right? Okay. So I'm saying this to highlight, like I said, how long the food insecurity has been an issue. Some of the arguments that I've heard is that people on food stamps are just lazy. And while I think maybe some people might, that stamp you might be able to put on some people, but I think that there might be more to the story, as we were talking about a little bit earlier, right? So now the SNAP program serves approximately 41.7 million people. Sounds like a lot, right? Check this out. Let's zoom out for just a minute, okay? The population of the United States is approximately 342.7 million people as of this month, November of 2025. This country has approximately, so probably more. You could just assume it's probably more. 342.7 million people. It's a lot of people. 41.7 million people doesn't seem like much. I mean, when you think about that other big number, right? So 41.7 million, the percentage of people that are getting food stamps in our country is only, if you look at how many people are in our country and that number 41.7, it only equals to 12%. 12% of our population is getting food stamps. That's not a lot. I mean, that is not a lot. So we think about, when you look at it from that vantage point, right, that's not much. Right. So in my estimation, for our government to help 12% of our population, I mean, it's not an issue, really. It's really not an issue. It's a very low percentage of people in this country that are getting food stamps. So let's just kind of let that sink in. When we're having these conversations, we really have to think about that. Like, before you say, oh my God, these people are just sitting at home being lazy. We're paying for 50% of the country to just sit around and do whatever they want, where our tax dollars are paying for, these people. It's 12%. I mean, this is a huge country. The country is a business. And also, it's okay for our country to look after it's the people in its population, right? So we're American citizens. And since we have a government that is a capitalist government, yeah, it's okay for them to look out. Imagine if you were in a bad situation and your government didn't look out for you, didn't care anything about you. If you didn't have medical care, if you didn't have food, if you didn't have all, the things that that everybody else has, that is very important, a need, a necessity in your life, you don't have those things and you could use some help. I think it's okay for our government to step in and help in those situations. So I just wanted to talk about those numbers so that we can really get a kind of a grip on what that really looks like. Okay. So I'd like to talk about next why. Right. So why are we all experiencing all of this pain from the government shutdown? And there's lots of us that are being affected. Right. So during my research, I found out that this whole government shutdown is based on it's really surrounded by this one big, beautiful bill that Donald Trump passed back in July of this year. So there's a couple of issues in here that the Democrats are just not feeling at all. They're like, no way, we're not doing this. Right. So, well, that's what they say anyway. I have my own thoughts about why they really are not signing off on this clean CR. That's what they keep on calling it. So this is about a spending bill that needs to be agreed on in Congress so that it can be sent to the president and signed into law. The continuing resolution, what I just said, was the clean CR, right? That's what they keep on telling us every day, annoying Annoying, right? The continuing resolution from March of this year was enacted to fund the government until September 30th of 2025. This is why the October 1st, that's why the timing of the shutdown happened, right? So the Democrats won't sign this continuing resolution this time because of the One Big Beautiful Bill that was signed into law on July 4th, 2025. They are citing the cuts that Donald Trump's Big Beautiful Bill is making to Medicaid could hurt too many people over the next 10 years. Specifically, children is what they're saying. Also, the bill also includes the expansion of illegal immigration, and you know that they are not down with that. The immigration enforcement, right? And then also that the tax cuts will largely benefit the wealthiest Americans in our country. So these are the reasons that they are saying that they won't sign off on this continuing resolution. Okay, that's their excuse. I have my own ideas. So to me, it sounds like a little plan was made on the part of the Democrats. This is my opinion. Okay, so reading all of this stuff, watching the news every day and watching these politicians say all the things that they say, give all these excuses, fight back and forth, blame each other, do all this stuff. Of all of this time that I've been watching all of this, culminating till today, November 4th, and the election, right? So this is my thoughts that I have, conclusions that I've come up with. So once the Big Beautiful Bill was passed back in July, I believe that the Democrats decided that they were not going to sign off on the continuing resolution when it came back up again in September. Why? They said they weren't going to sign off on this continuing resolution to fund the government again in September because they wanted to gain back control of Congress. And if you listen to specifically Hakeem Jeffries, like he's like on repeat with this, like we're going to get control back. We're going to get control. The main focus is that we get control back. We get control. We get control. This is all he's talking about, right? So he tells you exactly what they're thinking, about when it comes to signing off on this continuing resolution. So it's just got me thinking, I'm like, so they want to get control back of Congress. But as of today, they're already leading the Republicans in Congress by 8 points. So if they hold out until the midterms, which is the election that just happened, right? And they get their base out to vote, they know that they're going to get lots of Democrats, in all the different places that they need them. And they're going to come out because they're listening to them say, hey, Donald Trump, look, he said he was going to do this, with the economy. And look, he hasn't done it. And look what he's doing with this. And look what he's doing with all these different things and getting them all riled up. So the Democrats will come out and make sure that they vote so that they believe that the Democratic Party will get in office and fix it. So if they hold off on signing off on this clean resolution, they get their people to come out, they get the vote, and then when we get to 2026 in the midterms, then they have a better chance of getting back Congress. Let me know what you think. I mean, this is my thoughts. This is my conclusions that I've come up with after listening and researching and doing all this stuff. I was studying for this video and I'm like, wait a minute, this seems really fishy. I feel like maybe that might be what this is all about. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Please drop a comment. Let me know what you think, or maybe even what you know about all of this stuff. And also, while you're doing that, I am trying to grow my channel. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers. That's my first goal. So it would be great if you just hit a like so that this video can go out to other people if you find value in what I'm saying or even how I'm saying it, because it might be a lot of people saying the same thing that I'm saying, but not exactly how I say it. So if you find value in that, I would appreciate if if you clicked the like button, and that would be awesome. And also subscribe to my channel. It doesn't hurt. If you want to support me in any way, that is the best way to do it. Like, subscribe, and also share. I mean, if you share this thing, more people will see it. We'll get more likes, we'll get more subscribers, and on and forward we'll go, right? But I appreciate you coming in and listening to me and adding what you think, to the conversation. I appreciate that. All right, so we're going to move on. So yeah, like I said, I really think that now that this election happened, that, all the Democrats got out, they did their votes, and we got a lot of Democrats in office all over the country. So I really think that let's see how many days after this it takes for the government to open back up. I think it's going to open back up soon. Just my opinion, my thoughts. Let me know yours, right? Okay. So, one of the points that I wanted to make is that since we're all suffering while these politicians are playing their games, it's really, really frustrating. It makes me so angry. Like, I turn off the TV sometimes, or I'll change the channel really fast when they're on there and they're doing all this, right? So they claim to care so much about what the American people want. Well, the American people don't want this, and American people, really care, and they're not dumb, and they can see, and da da da. And you know what? They're right. They're right. We're not dumb. We can see, but they don't know what we want. That's what's frustrating. They say they know what we want, but they don't know what we want. They don't ask us what we want. They're over there like, we're an elected official, so we know what the people want. No, they don't. They have no idea what we want, and they need to ask us, not just about who's the president, not just about who's the mayor or who's the governor. They need to ask us about all this. They should have asked us about this government shutdown. How about that? Because I guarantee you, most Americans would have said, no, do not shut the government down. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there are some people that would have said, no, go ahead and do it. We don't like that big, beautiful bill. Shut it down. Da, da, da. Maybe. But I think most people logically would say, hey, keep it open. You guys continue talking about whatever it is that you need to talk about, but don't shut it down and hurt so many people. That's just my opinion. So, like I said, they don't ask us. They assume that they know what we want, which is ridiculous. They sit over there and play all these games, these political games, and say these horrible things. Some of these politicians are insane. I'm like, when did we start doing this? Just being rude and nasty and mean to one another. If you go back and watch some old footage of like Carter and whoever he was running against, and Nixon and Kennedy, if you go and look at their debates, like, they're so gentlemanly, and they talk and they say their thing. They never say anything nasty. They disagree with what the other person says or what they think, but they're not nasty about it. They would just, when the gentleman said blah, 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 then they would shake hands, and it was all whatever. However they felt behind the scenes, they didn't let us know it, and they didn't let us see it. There was decorum. There was pride. There was something for people to think and feel like it meant something. We're not going to act like people on the street, just hurling insults and being nasty, So I can appreciate that, going back and watching those things. When I watch it, I'm like, oh my gosh, look how far we've come, because now it's just mudslinging. Every debate is mudslinging, and what a mess, And so I don't know how we got here, but anyway, I digress. I'm going off on a tangent here. But anyway, so yeah, they think that they know what the American people want, and they know so much about what we want, what we think. But on some issues, they don't bother to ask us anything. As I said, they sit there and they play their little reindeer games, and For me, I'm just really, really sick of it, and I'm tired. And so what we need to do on our parts, the American people, right? I think It is well past wake up call time for us. Well past it. It's time for us to wake up and smell the coffee and stop trusting them and stop voting these crazy people in. I think that when it comes to voting, it should not be you vote for whoever you want. But the point is, when you're thinking about who you want to vote for, it should not be emotional at all. This is not, you don't know these people. You don't know what kind of people they are. You don't know if they're nice, if they're sweet. Do they take care of their families? You don't know anything about these folks. So, why should it be emotional when it comes time to vote? I don't think that it should be. What I do think is that we should be voting on track record, facts, and policies. Those are the most important parts of choosing the person that you're voting to go in whatever office. Mayor, governor, president, assembly person, whoever it is that you're voting for a political office should be based on their track record. Like, go and look up their track record. See what they've done, what they've stood for. Don't just go by whatever they're saying and they're trying to rub you in all the right places and say all the right things, and they're not telling the truth. Go and check their track record. Oh, they said that they were for this, this, and this. Well, what did they do about that? How did that work out? One of the things that is really tripping me out, right? I'm just going to sidebar really quick, is this thing about Gavin Newsom, right? So I live in California. I don't know where anybody else lives, but I live in California. And so I'm not from here. I'm from New York, Long Island, New York. That's where I'm from. And I feel like typically where I'm from, back in the day when I was growing up, most of my family, they were like Democrats or whatever, but the Democratic Party wasn't anything like it is now. Right now, it's like so radical and progressive and crazy. But back then, it wasn't this way, the way that it was. So that's the way it was back then. And you could even say that they were kind of conservative. Like, my family was very conservative, even though they voted Democrat. But like I said, Democrats weren't like they are now, right? So I'm just trying to juxtapose what's happening, right? So now New York is really down with this progressive democratic stuff or whatever. So now I live in California. So California is definitely progressive, Democrat, liberal, all of those things, right? And I'm watching our governor, because I've been living here, I think, for about 16 years. And I think I came right at the end of Governor Schwarzenegger. He was like going out, or he was already out for a minute or whatever. But it was always Newsom, because he was like lieutenant governor first, and then he was governor. And this state is wild. Like, I love California because it's beautiful, and there are a lot of things here that I do love about it. But increasingly, as the years have gone by, it has gotten worse and worse and worse governmentally. Like, it's really out of control. Like, there's things that should be taken care of that are not, things that our politicians say that they're going to fix, and they're going to do this and they're going to do that, and they don't do anything of the sort. They're out enjoying Hollywood. That's what they do, right? So the idea that Gavin Newsom could be running for president, I heard this and I read this somewhere. I was like, why would anybody vote for Gavin Newsom? Like, take a look at this state. Over the last 10 years, 20 years, whatever you want to, or however long he's been there, I think it's been 16 years or something like that. He's been between lieutenant governor and actual governor. This man is absolutely crazy. Who would vote for him? But this goes to the emotional thing that I was talking about. You have to look at a person's track record. If you go and you look at Gavin Newsom's track record, you will see that he has a horrible track record in running California, governing California. Just saying. Let me know what you think about Gavin Newsom. Maybe you love him. I don't know. I live in California. I don't love him. Yeah, he's charismatic. Yeah, he's good looking, and he knows how to stand, and he knows how to talk, he knows how to do all the things. But governing the state, no, sir. Anyway, you let me know what you think about that. So anyway, like I said, track record, facts of what this candidate or any candidate that you're going for, what they've done, and also their policies. That's what's most important. Don't be emotional about it. It's not an emotional issue. But anyway, so yeah, I think at the end of the day, what we all need to do, instead of looking for our politicians to solve our problems, looking for our pastors to solve our problems, anybody that's in any kind of higher place you think you can look to solve your problems, they're not going to solve your problems. They're not going to take care of your needs. They're not going to make sure that you have what you need. At the end of the day, the only one that's going to care, or that does care about taking care of your needs, is God, right? It even says in his word in Philippians 4:19, but my God shall supply all your needs according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus, right? So just thinking about that by itself, he's going to supply our needs with his riches and glory, not man's riches and glory, right? Not anybody, his. And his riches are above and beyond anything on this earth. So if he's going to provide and supply all of your needs from his riches, you know that you're going to have more than enough, above and beyond what you could possibly ask or think. You follow him and you trust him and you love him. He will take care of your needs. He will take care of you. He loves you. One of the main things, no matter what I talk about on this channel, and there'll be a lot of things that I talk about, a lot of people that I talk to on this channel. And no matter what it is that I talk about, the main thing that I want you to get out of anything that I'm saying is that, yeah, this is going on, or yeah, that's going on, or this is happening and that might happen, and all the things. But the main thing is God, to love God and to trust God. If you don't know him, please, 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 please say, Lord, I want to know more about you. I hear people saying all kinds of things and this and that. Is it true? I don't know, but please come and meet me where I am. I want to know more about you, and show me in your word. Open up your Bible and read your word. Find a church, a Bible-based church that's going to teach you about him, teach you about his word, and what God desires for your life. If you don't know him, please do that. If you have a question for me, please drop it in the comments. Like I said before, I will be more than happy to answer your question. And we can even have a conversation. It'll be awesome, right? So please, yes, drop your comment. Give me a like, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe right now, so that when I go and I look, I see, oh my gosh, I got some more subscribers. That would be awesome. But I thank you so much for stopping by with me today. I will be doing there's going to be a couple of videos coming up that I'm collaborating, right? So have some interviews with a couple people. One of them is going to be with DJ Joey Black. He happens to be my son, but he's also a music artist, and he does Christocentric music, but he's got a great testimony, and he's going to be talking about how God gave him his music label and the music that he does. So that one is coming soon. And then also I have another young lady, and this is going to be a debate video. So this is going to be really fun, because this one's going to be conservative, and I think she's kind of conservative too, but she's more on the Democratic side. So she wants to enlighten me on some things that some insight that she has. So we're going to have a conversation on here as well. And I hope that you will tune in to see those conversations. They're going to be amazing. And as I said, thanks so much. And peace, love, and light to you. Until next time, Take care.